and symptoms of depression. And young girls quickly learn that one of the most effective ways to create content people will literally like is to make themselves look hot. So they sexualize themselves at shockingly young ages. As I conducted interviews with experts for this book, I was struck by how many of them ended our conversations by asking me the same question. Could I tell them how they should handle their own daughter's use of social media? So many parents who I meet at playgrounds and birthday parties talk and worry about the same thing. In Chapter 1, I offer up that advice, informed by research and interviews with leading experts. In Chapter 2, I discuss how social media affects our body image. All those pictures we post on social media keep everyone's attention on our appearances. What's more, influencer culture sets near impossible standards for what our lives and bodies should look like. It's fueling a wave of body dissatisfaction and plastic surgery. It's also keeping women busy focusing on how we look instead of a whole lot of other things we might prefer to be spending our time on, like, say, dismantling the patriarchy by helping elect women to political office. In Chapter 3, I look at the way the world judges women. Thanks to social media, billions of people can now pronounce judgment on not just our bodies, but also our behavior, and they're taking the opportunity to do so. On social networks, women are coming under siege for everything from the hosiery they wear to their tone of voice when an airline screws them over at 2 a.m. As I probably don't have to tell you, men simply aren't judged by the same standards. And now, people have discovered they can make bank by secretly recording women's worst moments in public and selling the rights to companies who can help these clips go viral, so the whole world can come together to shame us. In Chapter 4, I talk about another topic of endless discussion among my friends: how to use online dating sites to find the right partner. It's now standard for single women to turn to dating apps, which ostensibly offer freedom of choice and possibility. In reality, most women are unhappy with their dating experiences. The majority of American women now say dating is harder than it was 10 years ago, according to a 2020 Pew survey. The majority of men disagree. Many heterosexual women get serious about settling down in their mid-30s, while they can still have children. But since men don't live as long and tend to pair off with younger women, the number of single, straight men available to women at this life stage is shrinking. On top of that, being able to hide behind a computer screen tends to bring out men's basest behavior. Women of color have it the worst. While today no one would dream of openly disqualifying people of color when they apply for jobs or try to book Airbnbs, dating sites are the last mainstream place where people are invited to practice racism so overtly. That explains why some of the women who I interviewed for this book told me they've stopped using dating apps. The other reason? They say many of the men they're being matched with aren't real. Catfishing, pretending to be someone else, forming emotional relationships online, then hitting up victims for money, is now a major global business. And women are considered easy targets because we're perceived as emotionally vulnerable, especially when dating. But I also tell the story of a friend who applied the same degree of strategy and savvy she used in her elite global business consulting work to online dating, and is now happily married. I share her tips for protecting yourself and finding the person you're looking for online. In Chapter 5, I discuss the new forms of sexual violence and femicide that have been enabled by the internet. Online dating sites now make it easier for rapists to find victims. There are almost no statistics on how many violent crimes are tied to dating apps, which conveniently helps platforms evade responsibility for endangering women's lives. However, according to a report released by the United Kingdom's National Crime Agency, more men are becoming sex offenders because it's now so easy to find victims. And in a non-scientific survey conducted by Columbia Journalism Investigations, out of 1,200 women who dated online, a jaw-dropping